Started. Call to order. Everybody have a chance to take a look at the minutes? I can't see them.
Move to approve.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to approve the minutes. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's approved. Approved claims in the amount of $246,427.89.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion and second to approve. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's approved. Approve the renewal of tax collection agreement with St. Croix County.
I'll move to approve. I know this is an annual thing with them.
Yeah.
Second.
And the rates stayed the same.
Beg your pardon?
And the rates stayed the same.
Okay.
Second.
Motion and second to approve. Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's approved. Severe weather siren previously located at 808 Hagan Street.
This is a dead one. This we gotta fix. Did you talk about it at that?
We did.
Go ahead.
We just didn't have a funding
source.
identified.
Yep.
Chief?
Yeah, so the Siren located right now up at 808 Hagan Street. It's kind of right in between the post office parking lot and the Chevy dealership. Was taken offline and out of service. Best records we have about 20 years ago. So obviously with what's happened about 2 months ago or a month ago, it's kind of a disservice to that section of town that we don't have a weather alert system in place up there. So this quote is for the replacement of that siren and to get it back up online so that we have adequate coverage for the city. The problem is we don't have a budget for emergency management, so we didn't have a funding source.
What was the total cost? I think it was 20,
I don't have it in front of me. It was $21,000,
basically
I
22.
think. And that includes
21790.
the siren and installation and the hookup to our current system and all that stuff.
Aaron, do we have funding in our,
Yeah, I was just going to say, we, especially for something like this where it's such an important public safety piece, we'll identify funding either in our current CIP where we have some savings, or we actually have projects that are carryovers from our last bonding cycle that we should have extra funding for. So one way or the other, we'll come up with the 22 grand for a new siren, and with cash on hand, with one of these other places. Just because it's such a priority, we have to do it. But we'll identify a source. We have a couple different options. We're just kind of waiting right now to see how some of these projects play out for the year and end up, and then we'll figure out exactly where we'll get the money from.
all right, I'll move to approve, contingent on funding. Well, as soon as you can get it fixed. And then,
Approval to,
Approve the
disapprove to
fundraiser,
do
yeah.
it with funding to be determined.
yeah,
And there is a delay, obviously, in parts, just like everything else. So sooner we get it ordered up, the sooner we get it fixed.
Second.
Motion second to approve. Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's approved.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chief. Anybody else? Anything? I've got nothing.
one thing, I don't know the final end of this project on Highway 35, and I will express my concerns at the full council, but as expenses as have occurred and hit in either change orders or anything that might have come up throughout this project, I had sent an email, maybe Nick, you were on it, I know Aaron was, the mayor was, on accountability and who we hold accountable for this project that was just a disaster, and it still continues to be, and we need to do something about it and make sure its concerns are put in the right people's hands as far as state reps. I see Dean just walked in, not his job anymore, maybe you could that's not me. But this has been a complete nightmare.
Yeah.
So we need to have, I don't know if you want to call it a commission or whatever you want to call it, or just a full council as a whole, to sit down and find out who is accountable, what happened with this whole project, and where it broke down.
Yeah.
So,
I agree. Okay, we'll get that done.
Yep, and just
We have conversations with the DOT on a regular basis. And
Barely,
we will-
Aaron.
I've heard some not so flattering things about Barry, this contractor from Chippewa Concrete, so that needs to be
This most recent closure, my understanding was there was a mess up early on, so.
There have been a number of them, and Aaron's asked that we take a look at the city's contracts with the state, which we've done. It's now time to pay bills, invoices to the state, which we're going to have a conversation on before we simply pay promptly. So and Aaron can speak to it if we can hear him. But ultimately, it's top of mind for Aaron, and it's top of mind for the rest of us as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, so we asked Nick to review our contracts with the state. I mean, we have no control over the contractors because we don't have a direct contract with them. Our agreement is strictly with the state of Wisconsin. So we've asked Nick to review that agreement, and we're going to sit down internally as staff first to kind of lay out what the heck happened with this project, where we at, what were our extra costs based on all their screw-ups, all those sort of things. And then we're going to come to council with what you requested, Randy, sort of a full review, and then have the conversation about, okay, here's what our options really are under our agreement. But just so you know, we have withheld any payment until we can have the review with the council and get okay. So we're not going to pay anything until the council's had a chance to review and provide some direction.
Okay, because in 16 years I've been here, this is the worst project ever. As far as...
And our concern is it's not over. We have some concerns with how some things have been finalized on their end that we think are going to cause us some long-term issues that we're going to probably end up in some sort of dispute with them about getting cleared up and fixed in a way that we think is appropriate. So yeah, unfortunately, this probably isn't over, even though they're saying that parts of it are. But like I said, we're gonna bring all this back to the council once we can get it all organized. It's a lot. There's just a lot involved here. But we'll get it figured. We'll get it organized. We'll bring it to the council for more discussion, and then we'll get some direction before we start releasing any sort of payments and things.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Anybody else?
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Motion and second to adjourn. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's approved. We stand adjourned. Thanks, everybody.